go, rock, freak, don't stop, go, rock, freak, don't stop, go, rock, freak, don't stop.
Who put them ball in the Wednesday night? Who put them ball in the Wednesday night? Who put that ball in the Wednesday night? Super Tyrese Campbell.
That was Shaun and this is the Sheffield United podcast. I'm Matt, and as the Freddy Krueger to my Jason Voorhees, it's Jonny. Say hello, Jonny. So tonight, Jonny, Sheffield United have managed what has taken Ruben Amorim a full year. They've managed to win consecutive games. So we played Watford on Saturday to give us our first home win of the season. And then we're recording this Wednesday night. Last night we managed to beat Blackburn Rovers away to make it 2 wins on the bounce. Take us up to 9 points for the season. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to review the Watford game. We're going to review the Blackburn game. We'll do the player ratings for both. And then we're going to preview the Preston match. And we're going to do our best memories of Paul Heckingbottom as we're up against our former manager this Friday. How does that sound to you, Jonny?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So, we faced against Watford. We'd had the international break. We talked about what United's priorities should have been over the international break, didn't we? People had said get fitter, have some practice playing in different systems and putting together passages of play. And David Ball had said get some therapy. It looked like they had. Looked like they seemed a bit fresher, didn't they? Everyone was ready for it. The old adage under Wilder, not Warnock, God, that were a flashback, under Wilder was that we were no good after an international break. Well, we broke that, didn't we, by winning against Watford at home. So United lined up 3-4-2. Cooper in goal, me, McGuinness, Tanganga as the three at the back. McCallum and Ogbeni as the two wing-backs. Samari and Peck were together again in midfield. A bit of a strange one. Louis Barry came in because we found out that Gus Hamer was injured, didn't we? And so was Tom Davis. O'Hare also started in that role behind Campbell up front on his own. Initial thoughts on the Watford match, Jonny, before we dive into the action?
Yeah, so the lineup with Hamer dropping out was a bit of a shock. Obviously, it leaked out probably a couple of hours before kickoff that he's got a quite a bad knee injury. And the obvious biggest shock of my career is that Tom Davis was injured again. I just never saw it coming.
No.
And like I said, Louis Barry came in on the left-hand side, and we'll touch on that when I do my play ratings shortly. But I said to you at the end of the last pod that I needed a game, and it was getting us down, and yeah, it were perfect tonic, which again we'll touch on shortly.
Yeah, it was. Tom Davis, I mean, he's rapidly becoming Darren Anderson into your, for anyone who remembers, John Ebrell. Famously played about 15 minutes for United, cost us £1 million back in the Howard Kendall days, and got himself injured and never played again for us at a time where we couldn't really afford to spend £1 million on a winger. But that was that. So, first half, bit tight, bit cagey, wasn't it? McCallum had fizzed one over the bar for us. Loser, great name. For Watford, was running things in midfield. He had an excellent game, to be fair, Loser, didn't he? He fizzed one over the bar for Watford. I think Cooper made a long-range save. My bet of the day, remember, if you gamble responsibly, was for McGuinness, wasn't it? Any time I said to you, oh, I fancy that today. And McGuinness had a great effort saved by their keeper, who, to be fair, had a good game. Made a few decent saves, Watford's keeper, in that first half and the second as well. So it was a bit tight first half. McCallum had fizzed one over the bar, as we said. McGuinness had a good header saved. We had another shot from distance, which the keeper did well with. And then O'Hare fouled him, didn't he, on the follow-up. And then there wasn't really a lot else, was there, in that first half? It was a bit tight, bit edgy. I thought Watford might have been a little bit more up for it than what they were, because it was Gracia's first game back, wasn't it? In this, is this his second stint in charge?
Yeah.
Yeah, his second, isn't it? Not his third. So I thought they might have been a little bit more up for it than what they were, but they weren't. Half time came and went. We brought Brooks on, which was needed. I know you'll touch on that, won't you, in your player review? But that was needed. Brooks coming on, and we scored a goal from Callum O'Hare. Brooks had well, Campbell had a shot, didn't he? Which the keeper did really well to save. Spilled out towards Brooks. I thought Brooks had shot initially in one of the worst shots you've ever seen because it went behind him. And O'Hare bundled it in over the line to give us a 1-0 lead. After that, we'd had a free kick as well, hadn't we, from McCallum, which was saved. Quite a good save by the keeper. McCallum really surprised me this game with his set pieces. We figured out he could throw it quite far. Decent corner. He got not a bad free kick on him as well. His distribution was quite good. And then after that, really, Watford just had a couple of chances, didn't they? So loser spins and hits the bar. And then they had the big chance in the last minute, didn't they? Which they managed to shank wide when it popped out to them. I thought the atmosphere was okay on Saturday. I didn't think it was bad at all. Wilder alluded to that, didn't he, at the end of the game as well? The fans just kept picking the players up as and when they needed it. Well, you reckon, have I missed out there, Jonny, in the Watford match? That were a bit whistle stop, but it wasn't the best of games, to be fair, was it?
No, we said before that we just needed to win by any means necessary.
Yep.
And I actually think that was the perfect kind of win. That scrappy, dogged, chucking bodies on the line, keeping a clean sheet, and just getting over the line and winning 1-0.
Yeah.
It needed it. Like I said, McCallum coming in and playing really well helped. We actually looked a threat from his long throw.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Nobody knew he got that weapon in his arsenal, did they?
No.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was just a decent result against an average side. They had Loser, who was a very good player at middle at Park, as we kept commenting to you during the game that he was pulling strings for them. Everything's through him. He'll picking up little pockets, but yeah, they're not a great side, Watford, are they? So you can only beat what's in front of you, and we just had to win by any means necessary, and we did.
We did, and I'm glad you mentioned McCallum's throw-ins because this has been a bit of a bugbear of mine for a while. Robinson's long throws I always thought were pointless. We just oofed into the box, got nowhere near anything. We actually got close on a couple of these this time, and his corners were good as well. You know, the outswinging ones when he was taking those, they looked decent, and I say he hit that decent free kick in the second half as well. Do you want to dive into your player ratings then, Jonny? And I might challenge you on a couple or possibly agree with you on most.
Yeah, so obviously Cooper in goal, giving him a 6. He didn't really have much to do.
Nope.
He had a couple of saves from distance, a couple of catches from crosses. He probably did look slightly better, but he didn't have much to do, so he gets 6. Yeah, McCallum then. We'll start with him because I actually think he was our best player on Saturday. Just because of how poor we've been in that position this season. I thought McCallum really good. Like I said, we touched on the long throw. He's fantastic in air, as we know.
Yeah.
He gives you that great cover. He's athletic and he gets forward and gets stuck in. So, yeah, I'll give McCallum an 8. I actually think you're our best player.
Yep.
Me and McGuinness, I'm going to give joint 7s. I thought they were solid. Didn't do much wrong. Me tend to just pick everything out of the air, won it. McGuinness won 90% of his headers that came in.
He's very good in the air.
Yeah. Tanganga. Now, I thought he was average first half and very good second half, so he gets a 7 as well.
Yeah.
I thought he stepped it up. He looked a bit more on the front foot. He played like a captain should. He was getting stuck in. He was leading from the front. He upped the tempo a bit. And when Brooks came on, on that side. He linked up with him as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was good. I mean, it's interesting about Tanganga because Wilder said, didn't he, that this was the best game he's seen him have for the club. I mean, I thought he was outstanding that day against Middlesbrough, but I think he had to be, didn't he? Because United were appalling.
Yeah, he stood out in a really poor side.
He did.
So Benny, give him a 6 because it frustrates the life out of me for the person who was meant to be, who was the quickest player in the Premier League 2 years ago.
Mm.
It's just something missing, and I can't work out what it is. I'm just thinking, knock it past him, go past him, the defender, and he just don't seem to do it. He did look a bit fitter, which is one
He
thing
did.
that we said they need to improve on over international break. So he did look a bit fitter. I'll give him that. So we went to City, Peck, and Samari. Now, I think Peck had a decent game, one of his best games this season,
Hmm.
a 7, and Samari a 7.
Yep.
Samari, like I said, he's the poor man's Vinny Souza. However, he's only a young lad still, which you've got to remember.
Yep.
He's not the same broadness as Souza, so he's not got
No.
the same physical strength. But I do like the fact that he gets stuck in. He's not scared, is he?
No, no,
Sometimes
it's
you think,
slightest.
yeah, sometimes you think, God, he could be a bit hot-headed here, but and putting a rash tackle. But yeah, I do like that dynamic he's got with Peck at the minute.
He's a funny one, Souza, because you can see a lot of the time the players are pointing and telling him where to run, aren't they, and where
Tomorrow.
to go. Yeah, sorry, Samari, not Souza. I wish it was Souza. Samara's funny because they are pointing, aren't they, and telling him where to go. And you can see that regularly. They're like saying, "No, you go here, go here," and they're all dragging him into positions. But I do agree with you. He looked fitter as well, didn't he? He
Yeah,
looked a lot fitter.
that's the raw bit of him, isn't it? The fact that people are having to direct him, but that'll come, and it'll come with game time.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Louis Barry, I thought it was absolutely terrible,
Buzz Killington. Yeah.
and he puts in a similar performance on Saturday against Watford as we're going to touch on later with Mr. Cannon against Blackburn for me. Completely ineffective, lightweight, just body checked off the ball constantly, runs the ball out of play, don't track back. Just yeah, he's not ready for that physical championship. But see what obviously League One where we were playing last year is physical, but in the championship they just use it better. They use the
Yeah,
physicality better
yeah,
and they're better players and cleverer. So I don't think Barry can he's not ready for this step up in a struggling side.
yeah. What did you give him?
4.
4.
Yeah, I thought it was really poor. I thought it was
What did
really
you
poor.
think to his set pieces? Because I read I think it would have pinched. They actually thought his set pieces were okay. I'm not so sure. I don't.
Well, put it this way, I can't remember one of them.
No, nothing springs to mind as, oh, that was a good ball in. We were just unlucky. Yeah, no
Yeah,
springs to mind for me.
no, I can't remember any of them. So, um, O'Hare.
Hmm.
So again, 7. I thought he ran about really well on Saturday
Yep.
against Watford. He linked the play and the intensity in the second half increased massively, and O'Hare was pivotal in that, and the fact that he was closing down and leading from the front with it, really putting pressure on their back line. Because how
Hmm.
many times do we say that these are really poor at back Watford?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, agreed.
They were really poor. So yeah, O'Hare had a decent game of 7. Uh, Mr. Campbell up top on Saturday, I'd give him a 6.
Hmm.
Uh,
I think that's
Again,
generous. I'd probably give him a 5 Saturday.
yeah, he held up the ball a couple of times and linked up a couple of times, but he didn't do enough.
No.
Um, he plays a part in the goal when we get the ball in and he sweeps it. Keep him. It's a
Hmm.
good save. And then
Very good
Brooks,
save that. Very good save
yeah,
actually.
he's always going to be a threat because of his ability and his
Yeah, it
techniques
is.
are very good on ball and he's strong.
Hmm.
Which from last season he has bulked out a lot, but again that doesn't
Yes.
tell his fitness.
No.
Um, but yeah, so Saturday was the first time I think this season where the subs have contributed to us winning the match.
Mm.
Now, the subs were made, one sub was made just before the goal, and
Yep.
that was Brooks on for Barry.
Yeah.
So immediately the team was strengthened because Barry was our worst player.
Yep.
And I think Brooks in coming weeks will be in squad a lot more than Barry Monty.
Mm.
Yeah, he just a lot more direct, stronger, knows the United way what the crowd want.
Yeah, there's
Um,
consistency though into this the issue with Brooks, and I mean, if the rumours are to be believed, the talk is he's not very good in training, isn't it?
no,
Um,
but yeah, he looked good. He looked sharp. The other subs then, obviously, Burrows, Riederwald came on, and Danny Ings around the same time,
mm,
and that just gave us a bit more strength. Ings running channels, playing the game. That old head in there that we needed just to see the game out. The game management was good on Saturday.
No, it
He
was.
led it from the front, buying his throw-ins, buying his free kicks,
Mm,
just putting pressure, knowing when to press, knowing when to sit off. Yeah, and
mm,
it was good. Burrows came on for McCallum, which was decent because McCallum actually got to walk all the way around ground and got a bit of a clap off everybody, which
yeah, it was nice.
confidence good.
Yeah,
And
it was.
then just touch on Riederveld, I thought he looks like he's played in Premier League.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
So he
yeah,
reads the game really well, and
yeah,
you just need because as Wilder's touched on, with the second youngest squad in this league, and we need a couple of leaders. We've
yeah,
lost Robinson for as much as people didn't like him. Brewster, who was
yeah.
a leader, whether you like it or not, in Championship, lots of experience in Championship.
So was Souza.
Kiefer Moore, a
Yeah,
player of Sousa's stature, Anel,
yeah,
lost some big personalities, big players there. So that
mm,
experience with Riederveld will come in handy this season.
yeah. Well, agreed.
Yeah, and it was the most important game of the season. It was a 1-0 win. We came home happy, didn't we? So
We did. We did. We were very happy. I just want to briefly comment as well on the referee. We had Bobby Madley, didn't we?
yeah,
For
yeah,
this one, and you're talking about played in the Premier League. You could tell that guy refed in the Premier League, and I thought it was excellent. I really did. It's good to sometimes comment on referees. I mean, we both refereed, didn't we, when we were younger? I thought he had a really good game. I thought he just controlled that ever so well, and you didn't notice he were there a lot of the time, which was really nice. Is there anything else you want to say on the Watford match before we jump onto the Blackburn one?
yeah. That's it. No, happy 3 points. We move on, don't we? And
We do.
Championship games come thick and fast, which when you've won the game, you want as well.
Yeah, you do.
So rolled on nicely to Tuesday, didn't it?
Well, you do. And as I was saying to someone today, when you're trying to record podcasts and work 60 hours a week and you're playing 3 games in 6 days, it's hard to get this kind of thing sorted. But, we do his best, don't we, Johnny, for the friends of the pod and the people who don't want to listen as well. So we played Blackburn a couple of days later. United made 2 changes. We brought Ings in for Barry and we brought Cannon in for Campbell. I think that was to give Campbell a bit of a rest. I know we've had questions over Campbell's form, haven't we? But I think it might have been a bit much for Campbell, that many games in the space of 3 or 4 days. So we rested him. First half, I thought it wasn't a great match at all. It really wasn't. I've seen a lot of criticism of United for that first half. I just didn't think there was much between the two teams, and neither looked great, did they? Before I just run through the action, quick thoughts on the Blackburn match.
Yeah. So touched on it on first half. I think it was 2 poor sides. They're more feeling each other out. But I think you always knew that Blackburn was just going to put balls in box.
Yep.
They get a lucky goal because that guy, when it cuts back to the striker, he actually shot. He missed
Yeah.
it, spoons it. Me didn't follow his man, and he tapped it in a Hashi.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't think we deserve to go in behind, but again, it gave us a bit of a wake up call, didn't it, as well?
Yeah, and the second half, which we'll talk about, was significantly better, wasn't it? So, yeah, first half poor. As you say, Johnny Owashi scored. They'd had a chance that was similar before. I think Owashi as well that had the air shot, rolled along the edge of the box completely, just scuffed it and got nowhere near. Aware had a decent one saved by the keeper from close range. It was a hard chance. He created it all himself, didn't he? Wriggling through in the box. So that was a good effort from him. Tanganga drew a decent save out the keeper from was a McCallum corner, wasn't it? And he got a toe on it and it bounced up towards the top corner. Keeper made a really good save actually. Then Owashi scored. Carlos Saba was really not very complimentary about United at all in that first half. And to be honest, like I said, I don't think United were that poor. I just think we were the worst of two poor sides. We weren't horrendous. It wasn't like anything under Sayers. And what was interesting, I said to you, didn't I? Halfway through, my stream had dropped out, so I put the Blackburn Rovers one on, and they were talking about United, and they said how we looked more vulnerable at the back than they'd ever seen us for a good few years. And they were also talking about that Ipswich game. And the guy said, I don't know who it was. It was I think Radio Lancashire they got on, and he said, I've never seen a side not want to play for a manager as much as Sheffield United that night, which is a bit of a damning criticism of how things were. So that was the first half. They were giving us some grief on Radio Lancashire, and like I say, it wasn't a great first half. Second half, much better, wasn't it, from us? We got back into the game, so it's gone down as an own goal. I thought Samari had touched it in, but it's gone down as a Henriksen own goal, coming off his heel and into the back of the net. It was a good knockdown from Tanganga, wasn't it, from a corner again, and got bundled in. United then made an absolute suite of substitutions. We brought on Campbell, we brought on Brooks, and we brought on Burrows. I thought that just took us to a different level, didn't it? And Blackburn couldn't compete at that point. So Campbell does some excellent hold-up play, probably gets fouled. O'Hare does what O'Hare does really well in recycling play. And lays it out. And he had the option, to be fair. He could have threaded Brooks through from one angle, but he waited this perfect pass, didn't he? And Harrison Burrows just strode onto it, struck it sweetly into the bottom corner. A lot like the goal he scored. Was it at Bristol away last season? Where he just stepped onto it, didn't he? And just swept it in with his left foot in a lovely fashion. And then we scored again. We scored a third goal. This time it was a great knock through from Brooks. He chipped one over. Burrows raced onto the end of that, put it across, and Campbell smashed it in front of the keeper and the away fans. Really superb turnaround from United, I felt, in that second half. Any thoughts on the second half of the match, Johnny? And then we'll jump into your player ratings.
Yeah, so I'm glad you said about Burrows scoring that goal at Bristol, because I watched a match with my dad and I said this game could be like that last season when we had Bristol away and Swansea away, where we were losing both games at half time. It had that sort of feel to it, where if we make the right substitutions, get Cannon off, get Campbell on, we could turn it around, because you're strengthening the squad by bringing the subs on, which was a luxury last night, actually. So, yeah.
Just before you jump into your player ratings, you watched match with my dad?
Yeah.
Oh, he told me he was seeing other people. I didn't know you were the other person.
Yeah. They just didn't want to tell you, didn't want you there, I don't think so.
Not very kind, is it? That's how I find
No.
out what's been going on. Well, that's that. That's
Yeah.
that.
It was a lovely experience. So, no, he was really pleased in the end with the result, so he didn't see it coming, so buzzing.
That's
Yeah,
that.
I think when you can bring on Campbell, Brooks, and Burrows again, I said about the Watford game at the first time subs have changed game.
Yeah,
It was a massive turning point. Them subs coming on the other night,
yeah,
and
agreed.
they came on when we had the momentum because Samari or the own goal had just happened,
Yep,
and then got the momentum shift. Blackburn looked really down on their
yeah,
feet, and yeah, we strengthened the side, and we just stepped up with a bit of quality. And
yeah,
I said to you about the Watford game being the perfect kind of win,
mm,
the nitty gritty, exactly what we needed. Well, last night was another tick in a different box, wasn't it?
it was.
Coming
It was.
coming from behind, showing a bit of quality. Burrow's back on form.
Yeah.
Campbell looking sharp when he comes on. Brooks looking sharp.
Mm. Well,
Yeah,
I sent a message into to you and friend of the pod, Mr. Starbuck, about Campbell, and I saw a different kind of Campbell last night. He reminded me of Mr. Kevin Campbell, his dad, just with that power and strength in his hold up play, and just that little bit of nous as well. Like I said, for that second goal, Campbell makes that just by being an absolute nuisance and just being too strong, didn't he, for the defender who fouled him and made a really poor tackle. So O'Hare picks up the pieces and rolls us in. Do you want to jump into your player ratings, Johnny?
yeah. So again, Cooper, he didn't have much to do, did he?
No, not at all.
Not really anything. I
No.
mean, to say they put a lot of balls in the box, they hit me or Mings or Tanganga, didn't they, with them? So Cooper didn't have any catches to do from crosses. He just gets a standard six. We won the
Yep.
game. I'll touch on him at full time as well. What I noticed when I run through all the ratings. Me and McGuinness probably both a six. I think they both could do better with the goal.
Yep. Agreed.
McGuinness gets dragged out wide and leaves Tanganga isolated in the middle. And
Mm.
for me, that's for Bentley, he doesn't follow Ahashi. He's running
Yep.
alongside him back into the box. He doesn't follow him. I don't think he expected their lad to scuff it and drop straight to Ahashi's feet, but for that experience there, you expect him to do a bit better there.
Yeah, I thought both of them's
Uh,
distribution were poor as well. They weren't great on the ball, were they, either of them?
yeah. However, second half, they both did what they needed to do. The
Yeah, they did.
basics,
Yeah,
edit, kick it, clear.
yeah.
Just do what you need to do. No daft.
You
Um,
you can't knock McGuinness for that though. He
no,
always wins it. I mean, he should with the size of him, but he does always win his headers.
yeah.
Does always win his headers. Tanganga.
Tanganga, again a six, but I do think he had a decent second half again.
Yep.
He's getting a bit better
Yeah.
in terms of he's the
He's learning that
captain
role.
and he's leading a bit more by example, which I like.
Mm.
He's getting stuck in, and he's actually appealing for stuff, and he's going up to ref on players' behalf, which I don't think we do enough of.
No,
Um,
we're not savvy like that, though, are we?
no. So yeah, that's them three. McCallum, I'll give a six. I thought he was decent again. He looked okay. Threat with long throws, won a couple of decent headers.
Mm.
The play ratings aren't great because we weren't playing a great side.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, agreed.
I'll do Benny again. Six. He again just take your man on, knock it past him, and take it on and put it in box. But I think his best part were actually defensive the other night.
Yeah.
Sprinted back when
Mm.
from our own corner and managed to slow their player down. That were about it. You don't notice him much, do you?
No, to be honest, I'm kind of the opinion I wouldn't mind Sariki having a go instead of him.
Yeah, it's just that transition. If Sariki comes in, is he attack minded enough?
Well, yeah. You'd hope so.
That's the hard thing, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
hard thing.
Yeah.
Because neither of them are a George Baldock, are they?
No, no, they're not.
What
No.
you give for him, he'd be the perfect player in this team
Of course we would. Absolutely.
for every aspect.
Yeah, really would.
So I'll move on to City Peck. I'll give him a 7. I thought he was tidy in his play.
It was good,
Uh,
Peck.
he was aggressive. He was good at picking up the ball in these tight little pockets and keeping possession, which sometimes he'll play safe and go back. This time he was just picking the right pass, whether it forwards and sideways, rather than just going back playing safe. Samari, I want to give him a 7. I
Yeah.
thought it was good. I thought it was good. He's growing into it a bit more. I think his fitness is getting there. He put in a couple of good tackles. He looks banged up for it, doesn't he?
Does.
And I think there's a player in there. I
Yeah,
do
there
think
is.
there's a player in there,
He's
and I
fitter.
think
He's around the team though, isn't he? And playing. Making a
he'll help
difference.
bring some. He'll help bring more out in City Peck,
Yeah. Agreed.
like
Agreed.
Sousa did. O'Hare, I'm going to give a 7.5. I
Top
thought
out.
he
He was an
thought he
eight
ran
at
around
least.
really well. He was pivotal in our second goal.
Oh
He
yeah.
was pivotal in the change of the tempo. What the whole team was really second half, but a lot of the stuff went through him. He was pressing, he was closing down, which is just what we wanted. I'm going to save the best to last, by the way. So I'm going to go Danny Ings next. Danny Ings, a 6.
That's
Yeah,
generous.
I expected him to play up top, but he actually played in a 10.
Yeah, see,
He played
I'd,
behind
I'd
Cameron.
have givings, I'd have givings a 4 because I thought, while he could do a little bit of hold up play, that was only when he was playing up front. But when he dropped deeper, it didn't work and he was ineffective and he lost the
Yeah,
ball a lot.
he picked up the ball a few times, played a couple of balls through, and he played it through to a person who I'm not being funny. We may as well play with 10 men, Mr. Cannon. I cannot see how he gets another start in a game.
Well, Asaba said it was like we played with 10 men, and I think he was alluding to Cannon being on the pitch. What did you give Cannon?
3.
Yeah, I'd have give Cannon a 3, but I'd have also give Ings a 4. I thought Cannon was poor. He had that one chance into where O'Hare put him through, and it's not an easy chance, but his shot was poor. It was tame, wasn't it? And it was straight. I think it's just not worked.
It
I think
just looks a mile off it. He don't look like a footballer. He don't look like he's got. Is he a channel runner? No.
yeah.
Has he got any strength? No. Does he look
No,
like
I
winning
know.
headers? No.
And I don't.
Pace? No.
No, and I don't want to scapegoat Tom Cannon, but I do think it's just not worked. And I think we are at the point where it's not working. It's just not worked now. I don't know how many more chances, like you say, we can give him. I think he probably needs to go in January, whether it's out on loan or if we can recoup some of the money we paid.
Yeah.
Let's move him on. What do you think to the subs then? So we
Yeah.
made
So
made
we
subs
touched
again,
on the
didn't we?
subs, and they were a massive contribution in just stepping up in quality and taking away the game from Blackburn. Um, I'm actually going to give one of the subs man of the match.
Go on in.
Basically, I'm going to give it Burrows, basically because,
Giving him an 8.
yeah, I'll give him an 8, and rightly so.
He was
And
superb. Yeah.
rightly so, I've hammered him this season,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's deserved to be hammered. He's not. He's been a shadow of himself, but I think last night the game was set for him. He looked quality
He did.
when
I
he
agree.
came on. He had a bit of confidence. He's admitted himself that it was right to be taken out of the team,
Hmm.
which is a big thing, and admitting that himself. And he looked fresh. I think but the fact that McCallum's playing well, I think he's realised I'm going to have to step up massively here,
Yeah, yeah.
and scored a good goal, assisted well,
Cracking
and
assist.
just
Yeah.
looked full of confidence. And I
Yeah.
think what helped Burrows was Brooks coming on the same side,
Yeah. Yeah.
because Brooks does help back,
Mm.
and they link up pretty well, them two, don't they?
He's fast and he's strong, Brooks, into he's an handful. What did you give Brooks then when he
Yeah,
came on?
I'd give him a 7. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was good, and he's another one who I've hammered at times in past, but credit where credit's due, it was good.
Good.
It was
And
good.
then Mr. Campbell.
Campbell again a 7, hold up play, brilliant.
Yeah.
Which was his strength. He showed a bit of pace. He was a nuisance. He chose when to press. Again, taking him out of the side for that break. If you weren't taking him out for Cannon, you think it was a good thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that Cannon played instead of him's a very strange one. But again, what other options have you got up there at the minute?
Well, very, very true. So Tom Cannon's actually quite a nice segue because Cannon was linked with a move to Preston, and Preston are our opponents on Friday, and they're managed by one Mr. Paul Heckingbottom, former manager of the Blades. So you've got 30 seconds maximum. What's your best memory of Paul Heckingbottom's time in charge of United?
So there are a couple. I do rate Heckingbottom.
Yeah.
You could go for the Bristol game, his first game after following Slav in the snow.
Yep.
And turn it around, a bit of passion that we've been lacking. But I'm going to go for the Blackburn game in the Cup quarter final.
Yep.
I thought it was a great day. United the club and that last minute Tommy Doyle screamer.
Crack of that. I am glad you haven't said it. I'm going to go for the Burnley 5-2 game. I thought United were just superb that day. And it genuinely felt like we were a team that was ready for the Premier League, how wrong I was. But I thought that day was superb. A close second for me, even though we lost, was the day I had with friend of the pod, Mr. Needham, at Spurs away, which was ruined by a goal in the 292nd minute or whatever it was, when they allowed Spurs to bring on the 17 extra players they've got on the bench. But Paul Heckingbottom, underrated manager, I feel, for United. He did a great job with a lot of turmoil as well behind the scenes. Preston aren't doing bad. United are 21st in the league. What's your prediction, Jonny, for the Preston match?
I would take a draw personally. I think it's a hard place to go, although they got beat last night home to Birmingham, which hopefully we're going to go in there full of confidence. There's no reason why we shouldn't be.
7 points in 6 days is a good haul.
Yeah, I think let's get out of there for a point, and we've got a couple of home games where you're thinking, coming up obviously with Coventry sandwich in the middle, and you're thinking, next 4 games, let's try and get 7 points. So pick up a point at Preston, win your 2 home games, and then Coventry's a bonus, isn't it? So I think if you look at the Championship this season, look at the table, you've got Middlesbrough and Cov top 2, or Cov and Middlesbrough, and then you're looking Millwall, Bristol, Charlton, Stoke, Hull, QPR.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're looking at that 7 teams there, you're thinking we've got a real chance of getting up there if we put some consistent performances together.
Well, you suddenly put a run together and you're sniffing around the playoffs, aren't you? It's the Championship. This is how it works.
So I went for 1-1 Friday.
1-1 Friday. I have a sneaking suspicion you might be right, and I think we'll draw. I'm watching it with Wilkie. We're having Slipper Friday instead of Slipper Saturday, and we'll have a couple of beers and a pizza. But I think you're right. I think we might draw, which is a decent result. Hotels, Jonny, you want to add before we hand over to Shaun to play us out?
No, just I was watching it with Mr. Negative and Mr. Negative 2 on Friday, so even better.
Oh, have you got them both? You've got my dad and you've got Mr. Starbuck?
Absolutely, yes.
Ooh, wow. All right. Well, I hope it's not too miserable for you. I hope it's not too bad. So that's been the Sheffield United podcast. Remember, if you want to listen to us, have a listen. If you don't want to, we understand, don't we, Jonny? I'll hand us over to Shaun to play us out. Nothing else left to say, but up the Blades.
Up the Blades.
Don't stop off. Go rock, go rock. Freak, don't stop off. Go rock, freak, don't stop off.
Who put the ball in the Wednesday net? Who put the ball in the Wednesday net? Who put that ball in his head.